Once, long ago, there lived an old clockmaker named Geppetto in Italy. Tick tock, tick tick tock, went all the clocks in his shop when he worked. And when he worked, Geppetto felt happy. But when he rested, a sad feeling came over him. Ah, he would think, all my life, all this work, yet no child to call my own. So one day in his sadness, Geppetto carved a puppet from wood in the shape of a little boy. He made it where the arms and legs of the puppet could move, and then he cut and sawed a real nice outfit for it, just as he was a real boy. And he said, "I will call you Pinocchio." That night, Geppetto laid the wooden puppet down onto the bed. From out of the window, a big star twinkled bright in the sky. Geppetto looked out the window at the twinkling star. "Bright star," he said, "if I could make one wish, it would be for a real boy of my own. I've always wanted a son." But of course, he knew that was not possible. That same night, the big star swooshed right in Geppetto's room. It changed into a blue fairy. The blue fairy flew over to the bed. "Little wooden puppet," said the blue fairy, "in the morning you'll be able to walk and talk like a real boy." And she tapped the puppet one time with her wand. "And if someday you can prove that you are brave and true, you may become a real boy." And the puppet, Pinocchio, his eyes popped wide open. "One more thing," said the blue fairy. And suddenly, a cricket appeared. He was dressed mighty fine, suit and nice top hat. And he could talk. "Meet the cricket," said the blue fairy. "He will stay with you and help you make wise choices." And with that, the blue fairy went swoosh and was gone, out the window, up into the night sky, returning where the stars twinkled bright. When Geppetto woke up the next morning, he said, "I'll go and take my puppet out of bed." But when he got to the bed, it was empty. And he's looking everywhere and he hears, "Here I am, father," from the other side of the room. And Geppetto swung around and it was his puppet. He's like, "What? You can talk?" "Yep," said the puppet. "I am Pinocchio, your boy." "How can this be?" said Geppetto in shock. Then he said, "But who cares? I have a son." He rushed over, swept the wooden puppet up into his arms. "Pinocchio, my son," he said in great happiness. And so they went on and they were happy. And then one day, Pinocchio, said, "Papa, I want to go to school like the other boys." Of course you should go to school," said Geppetto. But Geppetto didn't have money to buy the school books. So Geppetto went to town, and later that day he came back and handed Pinocchio school books. He said, "But now you can go to school." "But father, where is your warm coat?" asked Pinocchio. With just a wave of his hand to dismiss it, Geppetto said, "No need to worry about that. What matters is that you will go to school tomorrow." He didn't want Pinocchio to know he had traded his warm coat to buy the school book so he could go to school like other boys. The next morning, Pinocchio said goodbye to Geppetto. Geppetto, told him, "Make sure you go straight to school. Come home." Well, he skipped along the path. He was happy, humming as he went. And the cricket rode on his shoulder, happy too. Well, coming up to them from the other way on the path was a fox and a cat. "And where are you going on this fine day?" asked the fox. "I'm going to school," said Pinocchio. "On such a fine day as this?" asked the fox. "It is much too nice to be stuck inside school. You should come with us. We're going to the fair." "Listen to me," said the fox, and he put his arm around Pinocchio's shoulder. "Anything you need to know, you can learn at the fair." "Really?" said Pinocchio. "Take it from me," said the fox. "I've been to the fair." "Pinocchio," said the cricket. "He does not know what he is talking about. Don't listen to him." The fox covered the cricket with his hat so no one could hear the little fellow as the cricket tried to call out, "Pinocchio, do not listen to him." "Okay," said Pinocchio, "let's go to the fair." And off they went. And what a fair it was. By the gate was a man dressed in white. He called out, come in, right this way. Get your tickets here. With a sad look, Pinocchio said to the fox and cat, I do not have any tickets. A man was selling old things at a table near the gate, and he called, hey, you, sell me those new school books of yours. That's how you can get money for the tickets. The fair was so bright and colorful and exciting, and the fox had told Pinocchio what a great time the fair would be. The next thing he knew, he had sold his school books for tickets. No, Pinocchio, stop, called the cricket, who had finally got out from under the fox's hat. But Pinocchio, the fox, and the cat did not hear him. They were already inside the fair. On stage was a puppet show. I'm a puppet too, said Pinocchio. I can dance like that. And he jumped right on the stage and started to dance with the other puppets. Look at that new puppet, someone called. It has no strings. No strings? Asked another. That's amazing. Everyone laughed and laughed, and they threw coins onto the stage. The man who ran the fair saw the coins fall on the stage, and he thought, well now, rubbing his chin, this is an opportunity. A puppet with no strings will make me rich. The next thing Pinocchio knew, he was picked up and thrown in a birdcage. The next moment, the door was locked shut. Hey, get me out, called Pinocchio. But the person who had thrown him in just left the room. Only the cricket heard Pinocchio's calls. The cricket ran back and forth in and out of the cage, trying to find a way to free the lock. But he could not unlock it. I am stuck, cried Pinocchio. How did this happen to me? He asked. All of a sudden, poof, there was the blue fairy. Please, said Pinocchio, can you help me? He begged. Tell me something first, said the blue fairy. How did you happen to get inside that cage? Tell her what happened, said the cricket. Pinocchio wondered, could he really tell the blue fairy what had happened? What would she think of him? I was robbed, said Pinocchio. Is that right? Asked the blue fairy with a frown. And then Pinocchio's nose began to grow. Yes, I robbed, said Pinocchio, by 2 mean men. No, 4. The nose grew more. They took my books. They made me come here and they threw me in this cage. His nose grew longer and even longer until Pinocchio could see nothing in front of his face but one giant nose. Why is my nose so big? Pinocchio cried out. Pinocchio, said the blue fairy in a stern voice, you must know what the truth really is. I guess so, resigned Pinocchio. I wanted to come to the fair. I came here with a fox and a cat. His nose grew shorter. I had to sell my books to get some tickets. Had to? Asked the blue fairy. I decided to sell my books to get tickets, he said. The nose got even shorter still. Then someone put me in this cage. The nose was back to normal. Good job, Pinocchio, said the cricket. Well done, said the blue fairy. Now I will get you out of here. With a wave of her wand, Pinocchio was out of the cage. Now here are your books. And again, Pinocchio was holding the same new school books in his hands. And know this, said the blue fairy. You're on your own from now. Make sure you do the right thing next time. And poof, she was gone again. Pinocchio was back on the road to school. A coachman drove up. Hey, kid, how about a ride? No, thank you, said Pinocchio. I'm going to school. You'll ride faster than me, said the coachman, whom Pinocchio didn't know. And Pinocchio thought to himself, that would be a quicker way to get there. And the coachman said, yes, much faster. And then the coachman said to himself, he'll ride faster, all right, but not to where he thinks he is going. All right, said Pinocchio, I want to get to school right away. When Pinocchio was inside the coach, the coachman said, say, kid, Why do you think boys like you go to school? Well, to learn things, said Pinocchio. And to grow up, I guess, so we can do what we want. Well, said the coachman, what if I told you could do what you wanted right now? Right now? Asked Pinocchio. Yep, think of it. Skip the books, skip the school, right now. How would you like to have all the candy you can eat? All the candy? Yep, ice cream too, of every flavor. Ever want to smoke a cigar or play pool? All this and more at Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island? Asked Pinocchio. It's the best place in the world for boys like you, said the coachman. Don't listen to him, Pinocchio, shouted the cricket. Why wait, said the coachman. I know just where Pleasure Island is. This is your lucky day, kid, so what do you say? Well, let's go there, said Pinocchio. I'm going to Pleasure Island. Ah, said the cricket, waving his arms in the air. After a while, the coach stopped. You got a boy with you tonight, coach? Said a dark stranger to the coachman. Yep. And the coachman grabbed Pinocchio, threw him down on the ground. He's all yours. Now pay up. The coachman reached out for something. Was it money? From the dark stranger. Then the coachman drove off. What could it all mean? Wondered Pinocchio. But as he looked around, he no longer cared. For everything the coachman had told him was true. Heaps of candy all about. Tubs of ice cream in every flavor. Boys like him could eat and play all day. None of them had to work or clean up. There were even cigars if he wanted one and pool tables to play. But after a few days, something was odd. Where did all the boys go? Pinocchio asked the cricket. All I see now are donkeys. I must say, there used to be more boys around here, said the cricket. Just then, one of his ears popped into a donkey ear. Then the other ear popped into a donkey ear too. Oh, said the cricket, what is happening to you? I don't know, honk, said Pinocchio. Pinocchio and the cricket saw a line of donkeys led by a stranger onto a truck. Oh no, said the cricket. Now I get it. Boys get turned into donkeys here. Then the donkeys are sold. Pinocchio, we have to get you out of here fast while we still can. Let's go, honk, said Pinocchio. His 2 feet had popped into 4. Run quick, said the cricket. One good thing about Pinocchio's new 4 legs is that he could run very fast. Quickly they ran out of Pleasure Island. Soon they were at a dock by the ocean. Please, sir, Pinocchio called out to a man by the dock. I'm looking for an old man named Geppetto. Do you know him, honk? Sounds like you are getting a bad cold, said the man. Geppetto. That's the old man whose son left one morning and did not come back. He went out on a boat to look for him. No one has seen that poor fellow since. Oh no, this is all my fault, honk, said Pinocchio. I must look for my father. Pinocchio jumped off the dock into the ocean. The cricket jumped in too, right behind him. Most of Pinocchio was still made of wood, so he could float in the ocean. Father, he called out, paddling the water with his arm. Father! But there was no answer. All Pinocchio could see around him was blue water everywhere until... Wait, what was that far away? Something was rushing up, something big and very fast. In a moment, a giant whale was upon them. It opened up its giant jaws and with one gulp swallowed Pinocchio. Rushing inside with all the seawater tumbled Pinocchio and the cricket. When they came to a stop, they saw that they were in the dark belly of the well. Are you okay? Said Pinocchio to the cricket. I am fine, said the voice of an old man. Old man? Wait a minute, said Pinocchio. Father, is that you? There was Geppetto. Father, it's me, said Pinocchio. My son, said Geppetto. I thought I was dreaming. And they hugged in joy. Look, said Geppetto as 3 fish swam by. There goes our dinner. Father, I have an idea. Let's make a fire. Grilled fish tonight, said Geppetto. No, I mean for us to get out, said Pinocchio. He gathered driftwood and got a flame going. This is how we can make the well sneeze, he said. And Pinocchio started waving his arms over the flames, making a lot of smoke. Soon, clouds of black smoke were rising up. Sure enough, the well gave a cough. Hang on, said Pinocchio. And then, wham! And one big sneeze. Pinocchio, Geppetto, and the cricket flew out of the whale's mouth, rolling over and over in the seawater. And at last, they rolled up onto the shore. Pinocchio! Geppetto rose to his feet. The cricket was beside him. But where was Pinocchio? And then they found him. Pinocchio was face down, his head in a puddle. Pinocchio! They were too late. Geppetto and the cricket wept over Pinocchio, the boy puppet, who lay still in the water. Then in a flash, who was there but the blue fairy? Pinocchio, she said, you saved your father. You proved that you are both brave and true. She tapped his head with her wand, and now you will be a real boy. Pinocchio woke up, looked at his soft arms and soft legs. Father, he cried out, look, I am a real boy. That you are, cried Geppetto. The blue fairy turned to the cricket. Come, she said, and in a flash the two of them were gone. Geppetto and Pinocchio lived many long and happy years together as father and son. All right. So in the end, it ended up turning out okay for Pinocchio. But if Pinocchio had just listened to his daddy and went to school and not messed with strangers, he wouldn't have gotten any of that trouble. But twice he went with strangers, and not only did he get in trouble and get kidnapped, his daddy ended up getting hurt and lost in the belly of a whale because he was out looking for Pinocchio. So, number one lesson from this story, stranger danger. Do not get in the car or the coach or go to fairs with strangers. Listen to your mom and daddy and go to school. I hope y'all like this. Thank y'all for liking my videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. God bless y'all. I love y'all.